Right, guys, there's nothing to build. There's not a lot to do, actually, in this lesson, but it is really important. What we're doing is we are organizing our assets, okay? Because by now, we've got quite a lot of assets, and we need to organize them. We need to make sure that they are where we can find them. Okay, so I'm in my Blender folder. I've got my HDRI, and I've got my folder. I've got these files. I'm going to move these to old. I don't need those. These blend 1 files, these are backups. So I can move that to old as well. Okay, so I've got a folder called old, and I've got all of my old things in there. Yeah. So here, how to render. So, I have that already. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, so here I've just got 3 files. Here I've got my HDRI, I've got my blend file, and I've got my how to render instructions. Then I've got a PNG folder. At the moment, this is empty because any rendering that I've done, I've moved out of there. My MOV file, this is also empty because any rendering that I've done, I've moved out of there. I've got an SVG folder. Okay, now in here, I've got my music attribution SVGs, yeah, which I introduced in the last lesson. They look like this. I'm not going to show you how to make these. You can make these yourselves. It's nice and easy. Once you've made one, you copy it again, you change the title and the author, yeah. These tournament maps, I will be giving you these in the next lesson. I'm not going to ask you to make these. All you're going to have to do, you're just going to have to put your flags in the right position, okay? So this I will give you, but that's in the next lesson, yeah? But these will go in here. All of your SVG files go in this folder, okay? What have I got? Yeah, so I've got my semi-final 1 SVG. Looks like this. Semi-final 2. I wish it would open full screen. I've got my flags in here. I got my final in here. Podium, we will worry about. That's coming in the future when you've finished. Okay, but all of my SVG files in there. Yeah. Now, I've got my assets folder, and this is really important, because we are going to need all of these to make our final video. And it's really important that they are in order and that they are correctly named, because that will really help us when we come to assemble all of these and create our final video. Yeah? So, you might not have all of these files, but towards the end you will, and you will need them. And they need to be named like this. So background music. So this is 0, because we want this first. We will have our tournament map. Then here, semi-final 1, camera 1. Yeah, this is what I've rendered. And then here, this is my frame 1 from semi-final 1. Okay, so this is the PNG, and I've just kept frame 1, and we need that. This is the music attribution PNG that I showed you. This is our split screen. And this is our music. Okay, so all of these assets for semi-final 1. Yeah? And then we have the same for semi-final 2. We have the same for the final. Okay, so this lesson is just about organizing your assets. Yeah? Because we will need them, and we will need them to be organized. If they're not organized, it's going to be really difficult. So, your job this lesson is to go through your files, sort them into different folders, create an assets folder if you don't have one, and start renaming them so that later, when we come to piece everything together, it's much more straightforward.